Some neighbors who live near famous rapper Rick Ross say they're going to go on vacation if he's allowed to hold another car and bike show on his property. This one is expected to bring more than 6,000 fans to their community.
The hip-hop world is in total shock after an explosive clip allegedly showing Rick Ross and Lil Meech in a secret affair went viral, throwing social media into complete chaos. The leaked footage, spreading like wildfire across major platforms, seems to capture the two in unusually close moments during what insiders claim was a private getaway. Fans are left stunned, questioning the real nature of their relationship, especially with all the ongoing BMF disputes and behind-the-scenes drama. And of course, 50 Cent wasted no time jumping in. He dropped a string of cryptic laughing emojis and a meme mocking both men, hinting that this was just the tip of the iceberg and that even bigger things were brewing in the background. Neither Ross nor Lil Meech has spoken publicly about the clip yet, but word is that both camps are in full damage control mode. Online, the reactions are wild. Viewers swear Ross was leaning in for a kiss because, to many watching, it definitely looked that way. And that's only one of several videos lighting up the internet, showing Ross in some seriously questionable and compromising moments. Naturally, 50 Cent couldn't resist adding fuel to the fire. If there's one thing he's known for, it's clowning his rivals and putting their business on blast. But this time, the spotlight isn't just on Ross, it's also on his growing closeness with Lil Meech. Their connection has fans, critics, and industry insiders all talking. Multiple clips have surfaced of the two together in clubs, private events, and behind-the-scenes spots looking a little too comfortable to be just casual acquaintances. We're talking about intense conversations, handshakes that linger, and glances that speak louder than words. Sure, Ross has been showing Meech love publicly for a while. He even gifted him a Rolex recently. That could have just been big brother energy or simple mentorship. But when you combine that with all these viral moments, the story starts to look very different. One particular clip sent social media into a frenzy. Ross and Meech standing close in a crowded club, leaning in to whisper like they were sharing top-secret information.
It's easy to love me. Say what? Would you love me if I was? And would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me.
Then there's another viral clip where Ross can't seem to wipe that grin off his face while Meech is talking, a moment that instantly set off alarms online. It's not just that the two are hanging out, it's how they're interacting that's fueling endless speculation. So, is this just normal friendship energy, or is there something deeper going on here? Because from the outside looking in, their bond looks a lot more personal than most people ever expected. And honestly, this isn't the first time Ross has found himself in questionable situations that got fans talking. Social media hasn't forgotten some of those eyebrow-raising moments he's been caught in before, including one video that showed him getting a little too close with a certain well-known music mogul, while that mogul's mother was right there in the background. That clip had everyone talking, sparking even more questions about what might really be happening behind the scenes. Then came the whole slippery soap incident. Yeah, that one. Ross wasn't just promoting it. He was out there using it, washing a car side by side with the same mogul, laughing and joking the whole time. At one point, the mogul even climbed onto the roof of a truck while Ross cheered him on. The energy between them was unusual, to say the least, and it definitely kept the rumor mill spinning. If you've been paying attention, you already know whispers about Ross's behavior have been floating around for a while now. Nobody's saying any of it's confirmed, but when similar stories keep popping up again and again, people start connecting dots. Things really heated up when Ross's ex, Ty Kemp, aired him out publicly, claiming he used to show up at some of the most exclusive and controversial private gatherings in the industry. She even mocked him online, saying, "Go give that man a hug and ride bikes with him. You know exactly what time it is." Coming from someone who knew him personally, comments like that only made the speculation worse, and it didn't stop there. Ross's ex went on to claim that a powerful music mogul allegedly had compromising footage of Ross from those same private events. And if you've ever heard the rumors about what goes down at those elite industry parties, then you already know why that claim turned heads. Then there's Ross's track, Magnificent. On the surface, it's a smooth record, classic Ross vibes, but fans couldn't help dissecting the lyrics, pointing out lines about that same mogul and a certain girl group that had many wondering if Ross was hinting at something deeper. Of course, Ross never cleared it up, leaving the mystery wide open and fueling even more conversation. And just when you think that's all, there's a 2014 throwback moment, classic 50 Cent trolling. He posted a photo featuring Ross, the mogul, and Steve Stout. And the way they were posed had the internet convinced something else was going on behind the scenes. 50 knew exactly what he was doing, and the post poured gasoline on an already burning rumor mill. Then came the situation with comedian Corey Holcomb and the 85 South show, Holcomb claimed. Ross abruptly walked out of an interview after realizing the vibe wasn't what he expected. According to him, Ross seemed to think he was stepping into a setting that matched some of the rumors floating around about his lifestyle, but when that energy wasn't there, he bounced immediately. When that vibe wasn't what Ross expected, he dipped out fast. One moment he was mid-conversation. The next he's saying he needs to hit the bathroom and take off his jacket, comedian Corey Holcomb recalled. Then just like that, Ross stands up, walks off, drops the line, "Yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas," and disappears. A while later, one of his team members told the crew Ross had already caught a flight and was gone no goodbye. Nothing. To make things even messier, one alleged guest from those infamous industry parties later came forward with claims that painted Ross in an even more questionable light. None of it has ever been proven, but the steady stream of rumors, cryptic lyrics, and strange behavior has created a narrative that's hard for the public to ignore. Another supposed attendee from those gatherings even name-dropped Ross directly, claiming they'd had personal encounters with him, a bold accusation that instantly set social media on fire. True or not, the fact that his name keeps surfacing in that context is enough to keep speculation alive, and the talk doesn't stop there. There's also the ongoing drama surrounding Ross's massive Fayetteville mansion. Word is, neighbors have been complaining about late-night parties and mysterious activity behind those giant gates. It's not just the secrecy, it's the scale. One planned event was reportedly expected to pull over 6,000 people into their quiet community, leaving some residents saying they'd rather skip town than deal with the chaos. Whatever's really happening there, it's definitely raised eyebrows. Still, Ross keeps brushing off the chatter, staying focused on his empire music, business, and branding. But it's hard to ignore that the same kind of stories seem to follow him year after year. And each time they resurface, 50 Cent is right there fanning the flames. Public opinion is split right down the middle. Some say it's all harmless, two high-profile figures just vibing and doing business. Others are convinced there's much more beneath the surface. And 50 Cent? He's not helping cool things down. If anything, he's fueling the fire-mocking, trolling, and throwing shade every chance he gets. Just when it seemed the feud couldn't get any hotter, it did. A few weeks ago, tensions between 50 Cent and Rick Ross hit a brand new level, pushing their rivalry beyond music and into a full-on power struggle. And this time, it dragged Big Meech and Lil Meech straight into the chaos. Here's where it gets real. For years, 50 Cent had been a key force behind Lil Meech's rise, putting him front and center in the BMF series and shaping the foundation of his career. But everything changed when Big Meech walked out of prison. Instead of sticking with the man who built his son's platform, Big Meech linked up with Roseanne, not for a minor collaboration. Ross was announced as the producer of Big Meech's long-awaited Welcome Home concert in Miami. And if you know the history between Ross and 50, you already understand what that move meant. It wasn't just business, it was a message. Of course, 50 Cent didn't take that lightly. In classic 50 fashion, he fired back, instantly posting a photo of a rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." The shot was savage, clearly hinting at snitching allegations, but he didn't stop there. 50 went further, claiming Meech made a huge mistake by cutting ties with Tammy Cowens, the woman who had long managed his business affairs, and according to industry whispers, 50 might just be gearing up for his next move. Word is, he's sitting on explosive information about Meech, and could be planning to drop it all in a future documentary. That rumor alone has fans watching closely to see how far he'll push this war. Meanwhile, Lil Meech is stuck in the toughest spot imaginable. His entire career was built on 50's backing and support, but now his father's loyalty lies with Ross, leaving him torn between family and the man who made him a star. 50 even shared private DMs showing Lil Meech frustrated and conflicted, proving just how tense things have gotten behind the scenes. To make things even more intense, 50 Cent recently revealed that he was the one who helped bail Lil Meech out when he got arrested, and even paid to send him to rehab after his behavior started slipping on set. It's turned into a messy, high-stakes situation where loyalty, business, and a decades-long feud have all collided, and the fallout could change everyone's future. Now 50's throwing it all back in Lil Meech's face, reminding him of every favor, every opportunity, every lifeline he ever provided. It's almost like he's saying, "So this is how you repay me?" Meanwhile, Rick Ross is loving every minute of the chaos. He's been locked in this feud with 50 for well over a decade, and has made it clear he's not interested in peace. Their rivalry dates all the way back to a BDD event 2008, and that bad blood has been simmering ever since by stepping up. To back Big Meech's return, Ross just added another explosive chapter to this never-ending war. But here's where things really flipped. The much-anticipated Welcome Home concert, hyped as the event of the year, was suddenly canceled out of nowhere. Officially, it was blamed on unforeseen circumstances, but let's be honest, nobody's buying that. The streets started buzzing immediately, and plenty of fingers pointed straight at 50 Cent, considering their history, the timing, and how personal this feud has become. The theory doesn't sound too far-fetched. It wouldn't be the first time 50 pulled a quiet behind-the-scenes power move. Still, 50 swears he had nothing to do with it. He even jumped on Instagram saying, "I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone." But anyone who's followed this rivalry knows how 50 operates, and his tone screamed pure troll energy. Even if he didn't personally pull the plug, there's no doubt he's sitting back watching it all unfold with a grin on his face. Make no mistake, this isn't happening in isolation. Every post, every reaction, every headline is part of a much bigger chess game between two of hip-hop's most stubborn rivals. And now, with Big Meech and Lil Meech caught right in the middle, the fallout keeps getting messier and far more personal. With the concert canceled, alliances shifting, and tempers hitting an all-time high, the situation surrounding Big Meech, Lil Meech, 50 Cent, and Rick Ross is spiraling into a new phase. One that could completely reshape reputations and relationships across the culture. What began as an old-school rap beef has evolved into a full-on power struggle, and the collateral damage is getting harder to ignore. Behind the scenes, insiders say the tension between father and son is building by the day. Lil Meech, torn between loyalty to his family and the man who launched his career, is reportedly struggling to figure out his next move. He knows 50's support built his foundation, from acting lessons and legal help to key industry connections. But siding against his father could burn bridges that can never be rebuilt. It's a lose-lose situation, and the pressure is clearly showing. Meanwhile, Big Meech is standing firm. He's reportedly telling close friends he's done with fake love and ready to build his next chapter with people who truly believe in his vision. But that bold move has industry insiders whispering that he might have underestimated just how much influence 50 still has, not just with networks and production studios, but with public perception. And that perception is shifting fast. Fans who once celebrated Meech's comeback are now divided. Some see him taking control of his story. Others think he's become a pawn in Ross's bigger game, a gamble that could cost him his legacy. Social media is flooded with debates, memes, and hot takes, with many painting the Meech family as collateral damage in a feud that was never really theirs to begin with. And 50 Cent, he's far from done. Word is, he's quietly working on a tell-all documentary that dives deep into this entire fallout, exposing behind-the-scenes drama and maybe even dropping never-before-seen receipts that could flip the whole narrative. If that project drops, it could completely change how fans see everyone involved, Ross, on the other hand, looks unbothered. Insiders say he's doubling down, using all the noise to boost his image and push new ventures tied to the Meech name. Rumors are already swirling about a possible film collab and a new joint music project. One thing's clear, he's not backing down. If anything, he's tightening his grip. So the real question is, how far will each side go? Because this isn't just about a canceled show or an old feud. It's about legacy, loyalty, power, and revenge. And as all three men keep making their next moves, each trying to outplay the other, one thing's for sure, this story's far from over. The next chapter might be the most explosive one yet. In fact, 50 didn't just sit back, he turned the heat all the way up. He showed up in Miami himself and hit the stage with a full-blown performance. A classic power move that reminded everyone exactly why they call him the ultimate hustler. Because as they say, the devil works hard, but 50 Cent? He works harder. Now the entire hip-hop world is watching, waiting to see where this power struggle goes next. Even other industry voices have started weighing in. Young Buck publicly warned 50 to ease up on Meech, saying he might be pushing things too far, while Boosie jumped into the conversation too, urging Lil Meech to stand tall and not fold under pressure. But one thing's crystal clear. This is way bigger than music now. This is about dominance, loyalty, power, and who really controls the streets. And if there's one thing everyone knows about 50 Cent, it's that when he feels betrayed, there's almost never a way back. So, what's your take on all this chaos? Do you think Rick Ross is hiding something deeper behind the scenes? Did Big Meech make a mistake turning his back on 50? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading everything. And while you're here, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major twist in this wild saga. Because trust me, this story, it's only getting started. And the next chapter might just be the most shocking one yet.